Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am not here by myself. I have a special guest. Nate from Nate Turd the Third is here.
Hi,
Hi Nate,
y'all.
welcome.
I'm so glad to be on your
So
channel.
I'm so excited for you to be here. We've had so much fun talking, and we actually just did another video on. So after you're done watching this video, I am going to be putting links down in the description. There's probably going to be like the pops up on the screen, but go check out the video that we did on Nate's channel after this one. So, and what did we do on your channel?
So, we ranked our top five favorite Disney princesses. So difficult to just name five, but it was so much fun to just talk about why we love them. And y'all make sure to go check that out.
Definitely. And while you're there, go subscribe because he has some really cute videos. He's been doing a lot of collaborations with a few other people that I also watch as well. So definitely go check out Nate's channel. But yeah, no, like you said, I had a lot of difficulty picking the top five princesses. That was so hard, but it was so much fun to talk about. So, anyway, today, keeping in the Disney theme, we are going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects to just talk and ramble about. We are going to be talking about the Disney parks, and more specifically, we're going to be counting down our top five favorite Disney rides slash attractions. I think we just did rides, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty much just the rides themselves. So, well, I'm really excited to. Why don't we just go ahead and get started? Do you want to go ahead and start off with your number five?
I sure can. My number five, I actually have Slinky Dog Dash from Hollywood Studios in Disney World. That ride, okay, so just entering the Toy Story land, I was a puddle of tears just like walking through it. I saw Woody and I was just sobbing. So Toy Story is one of my favorite Disney films ever, and I connect to it a lot. I think because I collect toys and dolls and everything like that, so I have that connection with it. And just walking into that land, tears. And that ride, I was crying throughout the whole thing, but it was so much fun. Like, it's a really fun ride, and you can hear like the
Mm.
slinky moving like throughout the ride, and it's so cool, and it's bouncy and fun, and it's a fun, cute coaster. It's really, really fun. And then it goes fast at a certain point. And at the end, you get the You Got a Friend in Me, which is iconic. More tears, of course. And I just have
Right,
a
right.
blast riding that ride every time I go on it.
Oh, I love that. Now, I've actually never been on that ride. I know the ride, I've seen it, and I've seen ride throughs on YouTube. But believe it or not, I've never been to Disney World. As much of a fan, I was just talking to Nate about this before we started recording, but the only Disney parks I've ever been to are in Southern California. So I've only ever been to Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. So all of my rides are going to be from those parks. But I'm a little jealous because I do want to go to Disney World and I would love to go on the Sleeky Dog Dash. I've just never had the chance to, but that's really cool. And it looks really exciting.
It really is.
All right. So let me go ahead and tell you my number five. So I'm going to be starting out at Disney California Adventure for my number five. And the number five on my list is Mission Breakout, the Guardians of the Galaxy. I almost forgot the name, but Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. That's what it is. It used to be the Hollywood Tower of Terror, and then they recently rethemed it. But this ride is insane. Like before, it was good. I personally never had any personal connection with the Twilight Zone. I've never watched it. It was kind of like before my generation, and I didn't really care too much for it. But the theming was amazing. Like it was really, really good. When they rethemed it, it was a little sad because I started building up a little bit of a nostalgia thing with the Twilight Zone, but they did such a good job at the retheme and like the pre-show and everything. Plus the ride is longer and it's more randomized. So it's a lot of fun, and it's really enjoyable. It's a drop ride, so you go up and then you drop and then it throws you back and forth and all this stuff, and I don't know, it's crazy. It's great. It's got some loud music playing, but for that reason, it's just a really enjoyable ride. I know it's not for everybody. There's some people who don't like the high drops and stuff, but it's a very, very fun ride.
See, I usually don't like the drop rides, but I allow it for Disney. Only Disney gets that pass
Right.
for me.
That's one thing. It's like if I have a fear of a certain type of ride, at least I know that like with Disney, there's like that safety. Like I know that I'm
Yes,
going to be fine.
I agree.
So, all right. So, do you want to go ahead with your number four?
My number four is one that I think recently got added to Disneyland, and it is Runaway Railway. I think it's like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It is so much
Right.
fun. I rode that for the first time last year when I went to Disney around December, and I was blown away. Daisy's little section in that was my favorite thing ever. Like, I was like, no way. Like, I'm living in this moment. It was so much fun, and it kind of, I think it's a trackless ride. Like, it's one of those trackless ones. And that is just such
Yeah.
cool technology. It's so amazing. And it takes you through a story. Like, there's a story you're going through, and you're going through these different places and everything underwater and everything. And it's honestly so iconic and so much fun. I'm not as big of a
Yeah.
fan of that animation of Mickey.
Oh my gosh, same. I'm glad
Yeah.
that you said that.
Yeah. But
This is
somehow
I feel like
this ride.
Mickey is in his Ren and Stimpy era.
Yeah, yeah. But somehow this ride just really captivated me, even though I'm not that big of a fan of that animation style.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so funny. So I'm assuming you mean Disney World if it was last year,
Yeah.
because the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, they opened it at Disneyland, but only last month. So I haven't been on it yet. I haven't been on that ride since I haven't been to Disney World. And they, in Disneyland, they only just reopened Toontown, which I'm so excited for because it looks so cool. But yeah, that's one of the rides I'm really excited to experience the next time I go to Disneyland. It'll be my first time on that ride. So I'm definitely going to have to check that out and see what
Yes,
the hype is about.
you have to let me know exactly what you think.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'll be live tweeting you. I'll
Oh
just
my
be
gosh,
setting you.
yes,
I'm like,
yes,
oh my gosh,
please,
we're in the dance
please.
scene. We're going underwater. All right. So for me, I did include like different types of rides. So it's not, I'm huge on thrill rides, but I also love the dark rides. So my number four is actually the Alice in Wonderland dark ride in the Fantasyland area. And that is my favorite dark ride, partially because I happen to be biased. I like love Alice in Wonderland. It's one of my favorite stories, but also just because it's a much longer dark ride compared to some of the others. Like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is like a minute, whereas Alice, you actually go through. Like it's a much longer ride. Enjoyable. Plus, you go like up to the second level, and then you come back down to the second. I don't know. It's a really fun thing. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of Alice in Wonderland, so I love being immersed into that. Plus, it's both indoor and outdoor. And when you're outside, you also see like the spinning teacups. You just in Wonderland. So I really, really like the Alice in Wonderland dark ride.
I'm glad you put that on your
So,
list
but
because I love Alice in Wonderland too. Like doll wise, I always try to collect Alice in Wonderland themed dolls because I'm obsessed with Alice in Wonderland. Just that story is everything to me, and so I'm really glad you put that on your
yeah.
list.
I love it, and I actually have a shelf dedicated. I can't show you because of where it's at, but I have like a dedicated shelf to nothing but Alice in Wonderland. I have a whole bunch of Alice dolls and a few little Cheshire cats and stuff like that. There's like no doubt that this ride would have made it onto this list for me. So why don't you go if you want to go ahead with your number three?
Okay, so this ride has a whole spiel to it, but my number three, it's Flights of Passage from Animal Kingdom in Disney World. Okay, so the first time I rode this ride, tears. It was just one of the most beautiful experiences that I've ever been on. And I'm not the biggest Avatar fan. I haven't even seen the newest Avatar. I'm not really like connected to that world and everything. Like I did watch the original Avatar, but it just felt like a Pocahontas ripoff to me. No offense to anyone who loves Avatar, but
It is. It's literally a Pocahontas fanfic, I guess, basically.
yeah, but a 3 hour version of Pocahontas. Those movies are too long. I'm sorry, but something about that ride is just so captivating. Like I get on it and it transports me into that world, and I'm like, okay. I feel like a ride that makes you enjoy it past its film is kind of incredible, and you really feel like you're in that film, and it's such an incredible ride. It's such a unique ride too, the way you have to sit on the ride and everything is really
Mhm.
iconic, and that's why I had to put it on my list because it literally makes me shed tears every time.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous ride. Like I said, I've never been on it, but I've seen what it looks like, and it looks so cool. It's a very, like you said, it's a very different type of ride. The ride vehicle itself alone, but yeah, no, it looks visually stunning. So that's another one that I'm like really excited for. So for me, I've got my number three is going to be back at Disneyland, and it's going to be the Rise of the Resistance in Galaxy's Edge. So I am just like you with Avatar. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I know, people are probably booing in the comments right now, but I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I do like it. I enjoy it. I'm just not a huge like fanatic the way a lot of people really get into the Star Wars franchise. That being said, the parts that I do, I've seen all of the movies, but the parts that I do enjoy the most are just being at the park and being in the land. And the rides for Star Wars are always so good. Like I really like Star Tours, and I really like the Smuggler's Run. I really enjoyed that one and stuff. But Rise of the Resistance is next level. Like a wait time, and it's from when you get in the line until you sit in the ride vehicle. But if you've ever been on the ride, you know that there's other things that happen before you actually get to the ride vehicle that makes the wait feel much shorter than it actually is. It's an interactive like experience. Like I just everything about it is so good. It's almost like it's like two rides in one, with like a pre-show and like an interactive show in the middle. Like I don't even know how to explain it. If you've never been on it, like I highly recommend it. But and they put so much effort and so much like their special effects and just like I can't even like list off all the reasons, but I genuinely love this ride. It's a newer ride. It's one of the newest rides on my list. In fact, I think on my list it is the newest ride. I really, really enjoy this ride, and it's one that I highly recommend if people haven't been on it before.
I agree too. It's such a cool ride, and I like how it takes you through different things. You're not just sitting down on a ride vehicle. There's a lot of other elements to it, and it's a really cool and kind of tedious ride, and it really immerses you into the Star Wars world, which is really cool.
Yes. That's what yeah, immersion. Like it does a really, really good job of you believe you're on another planet and on a starship and on, like doing it, make your way to the Death Star.
Literally.
So we are at our number two spot. So, all right, we're getting up there, guys. All right. So, Nate, what is your number two?
So my number two is a ride that I don't care if I've ridden it like a million times. I always have to do it, and I have to do it at night. Haunted Mansion. Oh, that ride is everything to me. I love that ride. I love horror, and I love spooky things like that and everything. And just to have like something horror related, like at all times at Disney, it's just kind of like, I feel like edgy and cool. So I
Yeah.
really adore that ride. It's a slow ride. It's not the most thrilling or exciting, but I love the imagery and the spookiness of it and everything. And I love the ride vehicle. I love how dark the ride is. You feel like you're in an
Yeah.
actual haunted mansion. And
Mhm.
I can't wait for the new movie to come out because I'm obsessed. Oh,
I'm really excited. It looks really interesting, and they're going a completely different direction than they went with Eddie Murphy, which I enjoy that movie. Like it's not the best Disney movie, but I enjoy it. But I'm really looking forward to whatever they do with this new Haunted Mansion movie.
and all those elements just add into this ride. I love it. It's like if you love the films, you will see things from the film and everything, and it's just a really iconic ride.
All right, so number two for me is okay. Now we're kind of getting into like the top ones, right? So my favorite rides are fast rides. I love going fast. I love just roller coasters and like all the stuff. I love all the things. So for me, just like on your video talking about the Disney princesses, for me it was kind of difficult to choose my number one and number two because I already knew they were my favorites and they were almost a tie. But I was able to like decide. So for my number two, I've got the Incredicoaster at Disney California Adventure. And now the Incredicoaster used to be California Screamin'. So they have recently, in like the past few years, sometime they rebranded it. They redid all of the pier area, like the back there, like the what Paradise Pier it used to be called. Now it's Pixar Pier. So everything that was there is still there, but now it's just rethemed to have like a Disney Pixar movie inspired theme to it. So California Screamin' is now the Incredicoaster. So it's based off of the Incredibles, which I was kind of sad about at first because California Screamin' was already one of my favorite rides. But I have to admit that they did, trust the process. They did make it better. I do actually like Incredicoaster more because the immersion, right? Like they add a story to it. It's just really entertaining. And if you're able to sit in front, do it because it's the best seat. I love it. Yeah, like in most roller coasters, I say sit in the very back because when you're going up a lift hill, and then you come over the top. If you're in the back, you're the last one to start going. So you immediately are going fast. But if you're in the front, you're going slow until the back of the thing is up to the top. And then you start going fast. So normally for roller coasters, I say sit in the back. But for the Incredicoaster, it has little like motors that shoot you. So sit in the front. It's always the best.
Actually,
Yeah.
I forgot about the ride, and I'm so mad at myself because that would have been even maybe my number one. Okay, so last time I went to California was last year, and that was my first time riding Incredicoaster. And I love The
Okay.
Incredibles. I love The Incredibles. So when I went on that ride, I was just in awe. I was just in awe. The fact that you can hear all the characters in your ear, the fact that you can
Mhm.
see all the characters and everything, and smell
Yes.
the cookie.
Yeah, it is 4D. You've got
I
all the interactive stuff. Yeah.
literally, I'm so mad at myself because that should have been on my top five. But I'm so glad you added it because I could talk about it now.
Right. And now we're going to have some footage of it while we're talking about it too. So we can, while watching the video, we can go on the ride.
Yes.
But yeah, and I'm talking about those cookies. I'm mad at them because they put the cookies, the smell, and then you get off the ride and
Yes.
there's the cookie stand right there. I've been strong and I did not get a cookie each. I think I've only gotten the cookie one time, but I've been on that ride like a good like 40, 50 times at this point, like, so I've only gotten a cookie one time. I've been strong about it, but it's really difficult. You got the
I
chocolate chip
know.
cookie smell right when you get off the ride. Oh, anyway.
That ride is a genius. They're so smart for thinking of that. It's like, how can we make people
Oh
spend
yeah.
money? Oh wait, let's put
Oh
this
yeah.
cookie smell. Oh, and then
Oh my gosh. If we were doing a video talking about like the history and secrets of Disneyland, there is so much, including, did you know that they influence your decisions based off of smell using special machines?
ooh,
Yeah,
okay,
they have these,
Disney
and
influencer me.
I don't know the correct way to say the word, if it's smellitizers or smellitizers or whatever. Anyway, they have these things. If you go through Disneyland, there will be like these little areas that they look like just normal designs for the building, but you'll notice there's holes because it's like a little grate, and they're pumping smells out, and it literally is to get you to smell different foods and stuff, and you want to buy those foods.
No
Or
way.
it could also be like if you're in New Orleans or whatever, it might be like this like smell of like salty sea air to make you feel like you're in the Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, like there's different things, to kind of like immerse you even more into the land you're in. But a lot of them are there to help sell their food and their and their candy and their merchandise and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's a thing. And they do it on the ride now. They added that to the Incredicoaster, and it's very genius, but it's also, dang you.
Yes.
Why does Disney want my money so badly? All right, so we have reached the towards the top of our list here, but before we mention our number one picks, we do have a few honorable mentions. So Nate, did you want to go ahead and go first with your honorable mentions?
Yes, so I think most of mine are thrill coasters, all the honorable mentions, because they're just so much fun. And Incredicoaster should have been in my top five. I'm so mad at myself for forgetting about that because that ride is everything to me. But what I put in my honorable mentions were Tower of Terror. I adore Tower of Terror. Again, I'm a very horror. I love horror. So like that ride is
Right,
very horror themed. And having something like horror themed and a very like, wholesome park is just
right.
I love that the edginess. Then I put Rocky
Now,
Roller Coaster. Oh,
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. I was going to say, when you say Tower of Terror, which one? Because there's two. They have one at Disney World, but then they have one at Disneyland in California Adventure.
Isn't the one in California the Guardians one?
No, now it is. Yeah, yeah. But if you went on both of them, have you been on both of them?
I think I did. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Because it used to be Tower of Terror, so that's why I was wondering if you liked the old California Tower of Terror or if you like the Disney World current Tower of Terror.
I just like both because I love that theme, and it's I always get
Yeah.
scared like before the ride, like it kind of like amps you up to be scared, and I'm like just
Oh, yeah.
terrified, but I like that fear. I like having that fear.
Definitely.
Next, I put Rock and Roller Coaster because I also get a fear from that one. That one shoots you right from the get go, and it is
Mhm.
so terrifying to me. Like, I feel like I'm gonna lose my glasses, I'm gonna lose my crown, and I'm just like shook, but I love that thrill, and it goes so fast. I like that it goes with the music, although I feel like they should change the artist at some point. I feel like it would be
Mhm.
cool to maybe
Maybe
modernize it.
make it a little bit more up to date,
Yeah, I feel like they
something like
should
that.
do a new artist. Like I feel like that would be cool. Who I don't know, but I feel like it would be really cool.
I agree. I think it would be really cool, and I think so. That's another ride I've never been on before, but I think that one is actually very similar to the Incredicoaster,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
I don't know if the ride vehicle is, but I think it does the same thing where it shoots you at the beginning,
yeah.
and it's very similar. I don't think it's the same like ride layout necessarily, but it's a similar type of roller coaster. So I am so excited to go on that one because I love that type of roller
Yeah,
coasters.
you're gonna like it. It's really fun. Next, I have Space Mountain. I love Space Mountain. So much fun. I love coasters. I really do. And I don't really trust roller coasters from any other park except Disney. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just Disney makes me feel safe. And I love Space Mountain. I like that they changed it. Like, for like Halloween, it sometimes gets a Halloween layout. Doesn't
Yeah.
it get like a Christmas layout too?
I don't think it does a Christmas layout. The two that I know of, I don't know what they do at Disney World, but for Disneyland, they have two overlays that they do. One is the Halloween Ghost Galaxy that they've done, and I have been on that, and it's pretty cool. Then they have the other one that they do is the Hyperspace Mountain,
Oh
where it
yeah.
has a Star Wars overlay, and that one is really cool. Like the Ghost Galaxy has some cool like projections here and there, but it doesn't really change the ride. I think that it like changes the outside of the ride more because like the mountain has projections and sounds during Halloween time. But I think that for Hyperspace Mountain, it's really cool because they add little models of like Star Wars ships hanging in certain parts, and then there's like all these like projections of of the starfighters, starflight, the X-wings, whatever, flying and like shooting. Like I said, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I don't know these terms, but like the little ships like shoot flying around you as you're going around the roller coaster, and like you hear the laser blasts and stuff. It's like that's actually really cool. I love that particular overlay. I think, but I don't know if they've done any others. I think it's just those two that I'm aware of, at least in California.
Yeah, I do love Space Mountain though. Don't. I've only been on the Star Wars, the hyperspace, and just regular. I really want to do the Halloween one just so I can see all of them and just have been in
Yeah.
on all of them. Next, I have Expedition Everest from Animal Kingdom. That ride I find terrifying because there's a Yeti at some point on the ride,
Yeah.
and I don't think I've ever looked at it because I close my eyes because I'm so scared. Because it's like just
Yeah.
like giant scary animatronics terrify me, so I literally close my eyes. But I like the thrill of being scared, so that's why I do
Yeah.
like that one, and I like the icy theme. Then I
Mhm.
also have Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I do like
Mhm.
that one. And I rode that for the first time in a while, the last time I went to Disney. And I don't know
Mhm.
why, but it was kind of
But
scary. I'm not sure because it
I'm
was
not
dark. It
sure.
was at night and it was pitch
Oh,
black.
okay.
And we were in the
Yeah.
back, at the back of the ride thing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So it's
it
like,
was kind of scary. And I actually really liked it because of that. And the bats were kind of terrifying. I was just like, kind of living for it. But
right.
yeah, so all of my honorable mentions are thrill rides.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. And once again, for that one, is there? I know that there's slightly different layouts. Which was it the Disney World one that you went on, or the Disneyland one
Disney
that you're
World.
talking about? Disney World one. Okay, that's one that I'm looking forward to as well because I know it's different from it's the same ride, but it's different at that. They have a different layout and
Do it
everything,
at
so that'll be
night.
fun.
Do it at night. It was kind of
Oh,
scary.
for sure. I'm gonna do it like 5 times when I do eventually go. I'm the daytime, nighttime, morning, and the evening time, and then like a few more just to round it out. So for me, my honorable mentions. So I have a few. I'm just going to kind of quickly go through them. One of my honorable mentions, which I actually didn't have written down, but I just thought of it. When I was younger, my favorite ride was the Matterhorn.
Ooh,
I
I've never
can't.
been on that. Every time I go, it's
I
closed.
Yeah.
It's like I want to
Yeah.
go on it, but it's like you're
That
close.
checks out. Yeah, no, that checks out. It does go down often, either for refurb or just like things that they have to, like something's not working and they have to fix it or whatever. But when I was younger, that was my absolute favorite ride because it's a roller coaster. I loved the theming. I love that there was a Yeti and you never knew where he was going to pop up and stuff like that. Not so much now because like I'm a bigger guy and sometimes some of the rides, they can be difficult for me to like, fitting or being comfortable or whatever. And first of all, the ride vehicle for Matterhorn is kind of small to begin with. So like I'm already like kind of squished in it. But and it's not really as comfortable to sit in. I can, but even though like I can fit in it and everything, it's not the most comfortable. And that ride is extremely, extremely jerky. Like as you're going through, the thing is old. It doesn't have as much like buffer. Like the Incredicoaster is extremely smooth, but the when it comes to like the Matterhorn, it's old steel roller coasters and a lot of the track is old, so it's very jerky. It's not really my favorite anymore because it's not comfortable to ride anymore, but I do love it, so I wanted to mention it honorably, whatever the honorable mentions, that thing. Of course I have to mention Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean because they are classics. They are some of the best Disney rides ever. They're not my favorite, so they didn't make to the top 5 just because my top 5 I like more than them, but I had to mention them because they are so good. Pirates of the Caribbean is one of the longest rides that you can go on, and it's so interesting theming and all the animatronics and stuff. And then Haunted Mansion, a great way to get out of the heat for a little while if it's during the summer, or out of the cold for a while if it's during the winter, and like if you've been walking and your feet hurt, sit down, relax for a few minutes while you go through the Haunted Mansion. It's a great ride for that. Also, the same ride vehicle, the Little Mermaid ride in California Adventure, it's the same ride vehicle as it is for Haunted Mansion. So for the same reason, you can rest your feet for a little while and sit back. It's a very comfortable ride. Anybody can ride it. Anybody can fit on it, and it's Little Mermaid. Like, who doesn't love Little Mermaid, right? Then I also wanted to mention Radiator Springs Racers because that is such an amazing ride. It is a dark ride, but it is also a fast, like not a roller coaster, but it is also a fast ride. And it's indoor and outdoor and has a beautiful soundtrack, which I listen to while I'm working, by the way. I actually have a playlist of certain Disneyland music. Yeah, because I'm so obsessed. And that's one of them, is from that ride that I love. But then also, my last honorable mention is the Disneyland Railroad. Like, I know it's technically a transportation, and that's the only reason why it's not on my top 5, because it's not a Disneyland ride, but it's still a ride. You have to wait in line, and you get to ride it around and stuff like that, and I love it. I love the railroad. So I have to say that is, all right, I wanted to add that to this list as an honorable mention. All right. I think we have reached that time. We are here. So we have made it to our number 1 picks. So Nate, if you would do the honors, go ahead and let us know what your number 1 pick was for your favorite Disney ride.
So my number 1, I rode it for the first time last time I went to Disney, so like December of last year. And I think I went on it 2 times, maybe 2 to 3 times. It's probably my favorite ride I've ever been on in my life. It is the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Oh my gosh, that ride. And when we went, it was the Christmas layout, so we got the Christmas song like over and over again, which I didn't mind. And it's a good song, but that ride, I get chills even thinking about that ride. It's so incredible. Just everything that is done on that ride. It kind of feels like a mix of Space Mountain a little, mixed with a little something new. It's its own thing, and it's just incredible. The Guardians are so much fun, and there's screens and everything. That ride is just wow. It's really wow. and I cannot wait to see what else they do, like new, because that one really
Right.
blew me away. I cannot wait for you to write it. You are gonna love it. It's
No, I'm
incredible.
like you mentioned, I totally forgot that was even a thing because I haven't been on it yet. And I'm so like, that's one that I'm excited. I actually haven't seen that much about it. I kind of want to watch, I don't know if I should, I want to watch a ride through on YouTube, but
Don't.
I'm like, don't spoil it. Don't, yeah, okay, I won't do it. I'll wait. I'll wait and then experience it for the first time in
I didn't
person.
watch anything of it. I was like, I'm not gonna watch anything of it until I am sitting down on that ride. Do that.
Yeah.
It's the best. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it, and like I think that Disney has been knocking it out of the parks with all of the most recent rides when they add to the park. Like they have been really amazing. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. All right, so we're down to my number one. So my number one favorite Disney ride. This was actually probably the easiest decision that I had to make because this has always been my favorite ride for a long time. But Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland is my number one favorite ride, and I just chalk it up to like if you were trying to assign points and kind of like decide, point values to see who wins or whatever, for them, they have theming starting when you get in the land, not even in the ride yet. So like it fits within the land itself because it's in Frontierland. When you get into the queue area, the line, the theming there is of a mining town. You already feel like you're there. You're in that area with the sounds and the sights, and they have the buildings, and they have the water wheel, and like you see the train going by. It's just like it's really awesome. Then when you get on the ride itself, first of all, it's a comfortable ride because like I have to, being a bigger guy, I have to be considerate of that kind of. Is it comfortable for me to ride? Like is the lap bar gonna fit okay, or is it the seat gonna like hurt my hips or whatever? So like things like that I have to be considerate of, and I don't have to think about that on that ride. It's comfortable. It's like a single lap bar with a bench that you're sitting on, and it's a good ride. It's also a classic ride, so if you're a fan of Disney history, it's been there for a while. It's not an original ride, but it is one of the earlier rides, so it's been there for quite a while. The soundtrack is really good. You've got like that music that's playing, and you've got like the voiceover from the inspector or whatever, or prospector. Yeah, he's like, hold on to them hats and glasses because you're riding the wildest ride in the wilderness. Anytime I have a chance to do that voice, I'm
Oh
going
my
to do
gosh,
the voice.
please. Yes.
But yeah, no, like I love that. And then just going through, once again, you're going inside and you're going outside. There's stuff on the inside with the rainbow caverns that are a callback to the old ride that it replaced. You've got dips and it goes really fast, and like the lift hills and stuff. It's just the theming is there, like it's so good, but it's also a fast roller coaster, which is my favorite aspect about it over all of the other things I listed. I just enjoy that ride so much. So because I love going fast, I love going on the roller coasters. I think I mentioned it earlier, but because of that, I really really like this. Plus that last lift hill when you're going up, and like somebody knocked over a lantern and it lit the dynamite, and it's going up, and then everything explodes, and then you go down. It's just like, it's amazing. But yeah, oh my gosh, I could literally talk about this ride forever, so I need to stop now because otherwise I will keep going and going. But it is definitely, I'm very very passionate. My number one pick.
I love all our choices.
So yes, all of our choices I feel like we're really passionate about. That's why they made to like our top five. Oh my gosh. This has been so much fun. I love talking about Disneyland and Disney rides with people in anybody who's going to listen to me. I love talking about it. So being able to talk with you about this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for suggesting the collaboration, first of all, but also for being on my channel. I really enjoyed this whole discussion, and I had a lot of fun. And on the video that we did for your channel, which by the way, like I said, go check out Nate's channel, go subscribe, watch the other video we did on his channel. Like I said, I'm going to put the link down below, so you can go check that out now that you're done watching this video. But thank you for joining me and for talking about Disney, one of my favorite topics, ramble about. So, oh my gosh. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for right now. But Nate, where can they follow you at?
You can probably find me on anything. Just look up Nate Turd the Third. It should be the same name everywhere. If I have that social media, you might find me on there because, you know, consistency. Thank y'all so much, though. And thank you. It was so much fun to be
Sounds
on your
good.
channel. I had a blast collaborating with you. If you want to do more Disney videos, I would not oblige because I love Disney so much.
Absolutely. We'll have to plan something else out in the future because this was a lot of fun. I really, really appreciate it. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Let us know down in the comments what you thought. Did any of our top 5 lists make it onto your top 5 list? I'm really curious if we have like any of those favorites in common. Let us know down in the comments down below. And like I said, don't forget, go watch Nate's video. Go watch the video on his channel that we did together because we had a lot of fun with that as well. So anyway, I'm going to get going for right now. I'm going to hang out with Nate for a little bit here and we're going to chat afterwards. But for you, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody. Oh, yeah, I do the thing. Got to cover the lens. 1, 2, 3. Bye.
Bye.
If you like this video, you can let me know by hitting thumbs up. You can check out some of my other videos by clicking one of the links on the screen. I post new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified every time I upload. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.